Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round number 13, no, 19 of the 2023 Fastenal Cup Series. Holy cow, it's been a while since I last recorded a race. Almost 3 months now. Sorry for all the delays in getting this season finished. Real life has been kicking my ass. Anyways, we're back at the Burrow, where the 2023 season technically started with the Clash. But this time we have a full field of 38 drivers. And it is Steven Merzlik who's actually going to be leading them to the green. Eric Reinhardt will start second. Then you have Plaxco, Vaughn, Crago, Kenningberg, Kiro, Sparks, Goforth, and Arnstruff, the top 10. And you see in 11th, Victor Smith. First career start since the 2020 Daytona 500. Let's hope he goes a little bit better and he doesn't get himself, what's the word, suspended again. Like what happened last time. He will be filling in the rest of the season in that number 90 for RTD Motorsports. And yes, I did make sure to get a new camera, or a new set of cameras for this, so that way it didn't have, random objects just blocking the shot. Grabbed a set from Martinsville. So hopefully the cameras shouldn't be too out of place. Through 3 and 4. Very early green flag. Merzlik leads them down. As a field really bunched together here at the back. We're already 3 wide now. Here in the middle of the field. Couldn't tell if they're bouncing off each other or not there, but still 3 wide, just about 4 wide in the middle there. Able to keep it clean. Merzlik is running away with it at the moment. Reinhardt second, Plaxco surprising third. Crago and Vaughn still battling for fourth. Kiro battling with Kenningberg for sixth. Oh, and I almost forgot to turn on the ticker. Whoops. Crago and Kiro able to take their respective positions. Of course, the reason I'm focusing on them specifically, they are the 2 drivers currently battling for the championship. Crago running a higher line than Vaughn, and Kiro through 3 and 4 there. So we're now on lap 6, I believe. Maybe 5. Yep, now lap 6. Ticker's just delayed. See the cars coming up the hill into turn 3. Then off turn 4 and back downhill as we see the 57 of McGranger get really loose out that corner, trying to keep it off the 98 of Bishop. That's for about maybe the 17th, 18th position. All right. already 1/18 of the way complete with this race now. It's Merzlak, then Reinhardt, Plaxco, Crago, Vaughn, Kiro, Kenningberg, Goforth, Arnstruff, and Sparks, the top 10. Then you have Ian Wallace just outside the top 10 in 11th. He needs a really good run here, especially this woeful season he's had thus far, especially compared to his teammates. Then you have Keschel in 12th. Smith has fallen back to 13th. Freeman Jr. currently runs in 14th, and Nomina rounding out the top 15. He's looking to try and make a few more spots in points himself here. Henson Jr. really needs a good run as well. He currently runs in 16th. And it's very likely he might not be in that number 5 car next year. We'll have to see. As the field really is starting to just get spread out here as they run. Ooh, not a good day for a couple of our championship contenders. Both Heflin and Alamas deep in the field. They were running 28th and 29th now. It's not the runs they want to be having, obviously. As Merzlak hasn't run away from Reinhardt, but he hasn't been able to really be reeled in by Reinhardt either. So far it is about even. In fact, running near identical lap times actually. As Crago has, meanwhile, reeled in the 04 Plaxco. Gonna be interesting to see how that fight transpires. Oh, here's a nice side-by-side battle between Calvin Richards and Fred McRiley in the 95. Of course, McRiley Racing, part-time organization this season. Going to be running more part-time races next year. Ooh, contact between 95 and 37 there, by the looks of things. Crown Jr. able to get back going in the right direction, keeping it off the inside wall. That was a bit of a hairy moment there. See Lana Kira running at the tail end of the field, not where she wants to be, obviously. So now Nomina looks to the inside of Freeman Jr. in turn 1. Freeman Jr. able to hold on to it for now. So we see Henson Jr. stuck on the high lane here. He's gotten passed by Maddox. So we see the 99 of William Montoya, our most recent race winner, trying to get around the 5 as well. I believe he had him at the line there. Theodore Keene, the driver with the most wins of all drivers this season with 3. Also looking to get in on the action here. Ooh, as the 43 now blows up in the middle of the field. That is going to bring out a caution. So our first caution of the day comes out just past the first tenth of the event. As the Parsley Enterprises 43 rolls onto pit road with smoke bellowing from that Dodge. Not the day Echo Evans Ross is going to need or want. Although it looks like the crew may think the car is salvageable, so they're throwing tires on it. So who knows? We shall see. As the pace car comes around now. So let's see how this shakes out. So this looks like Merzlak will retain the lead. Reinhardt still second. Crago will still be, or will move up to third. Hikiro in fourth. Plaxico will fall to fifth. Then you have Vaughn, Goforth, Arnstruff, Wallace, and Kenningberg at the top 10. And, yeah, the crew just felt it was better just to retire the car for that 43 machine, although the 80 of Jensen Nomna is being scored as a lap down. And I do not know why. It's possible we got stuck on pit road. In any case, Nomna shouldn't be let down regardless, unless there was some sort of glitch, so get him waved around here. Hopefully no contact is made. As it is one to go. Oh, and contact was made. That's not what was supposed to happen. So we are getting set to go racing here on lap 32 of 180. So almost at the 1/5 mark. Looks like Nomino will catch up to the end of the field right when we take the green. Which it's out. Merzlak leads him down. And already Kenningberg passed by Keshiel on the lap and looks maybe lose a spot to Sparks here as well. Arnstruff, meanwhile, battling with the 12 of Wallace. Sparks around Kenningberg. Now Kenningberg on fire from Victor Smith. Ow. Excuse me. Ricky Freeman Jr. now, drove it deep into turn one. trying to get around Dylan Maddox. That's three different Mercedes teams right there, by the way, battling each other for position. You got McLaren, the Mercedes Works team, and Queen City all right there. Lana Keshiel doesn't just want to crank the top 10. She wants to get up through the top 10. She's now going to try and get around Arnstra for 9th. So now Goforth, almost looked to get to Vaughn for 5th, but wasn't quite able to keep the car going fully straight there. Merzlak slowly putting us ever slowly increasing gap on the 81. Craig, meanwhile, not necessarily getting to the 81, but he is being hounded by the 92 of Kiro, who, if I recall correctly, won the Clash? It was either him or Blade Runner. I'll have to look that up for you. See, at the tail end of the field, Nomina has caught the tail end of it. As the 15 of Theodore Cox almost goes around trying to keep it off for Crown Jr. Thankfully keeps it straight. So we see Montoya and Maddox now battling just ahead of Maddox's teammate McGranger. Armstrong continues to fall back, though he's, I think, fallen outside of the top 10 at this point. He was just passed by his teammate. Now he's about to be passed by two other drivers. Freeman really aggressive with the moves here. He puts the 90 and the 84 three wide through 3 and 4. And correction, Hunter Kiro sat on the pole. It was Blade Runner that won the Clash at Wilkesboro earlier this year. Freeman able to take the spots. Smith falls in line behind him. Now here comes Theodore King, around the 84. The 84 is going to be able to fall in line just ahead of Henson Jr. in the 5. Now here comes Montoya to the inside of the 3 of Hancock. Maddox now under fire from the 6 of English as well. So battles throughout the field. It's not just a single file fest here. Just got to look deeper in the field for it. As Reinhardt is closer to Merzlak than she is to Krago. Ooh, looks like Montoya got a little loose getting into the corner there, and Hancock had to react quickly to avoid it. Thankfully, he does, but man, that could have been ugly going into turn 1 there last time by. Almost 50 laps into this race. Laps quickly count off here. That made no sense, but whatever. Goforth once again trying to get to Vaughn. Can't quite get there. And Goforth under fire from Ian Wallace, Vaughn's teammate. Of course, this kind of race Team Penske really needs. They are further down in the team, or Team Penske? Wow, no, Team Reynolds. Almost forgot my own canonical name for the team there for a second. Anyways, it's still a result they really need, considering they're further down the order than they want to be, especially Ian Wallace. I believe he's, I want to say he's like 32nd, 33rd points? Yes, it's been a while, folks. I get it. Merzlak continues to pull away from Reinhardt. I'm going to go ahead and look up the championship real quick. As it looks like Montoya has gone around Hancock. Now setting his sights on Henson Jr. And looks like Queen City teammates has basically swapped around positions. Now it's McGranger leading English and then Maddox. Further back, speaking of English Motorsports, the 60 of Cole Dillon is trying to get around Ray Takita. And Ian Wallace is 30th in points, by the way, going into this race. Samuel Henson Jr., 34th. I'll tell you a guy who's really hoping he can try and salvage a few more spots instead of losing them, and that's the 84 Darren Armstrong. He is 32nd in points, well off his other teammates. At least in points. So looks like the top five starting to get spread out here. So we're looking to complete lap 57. In fact, we have completed lap 57. 37 cars still on track. Only one car out of the race. That would be the 43 of Echo Evans Ross, with an engine failure early on in this race. As we see Cody Lamas under fire from Calvin Richards for 32nd position, which is not at all where Cody Lamas was expecting to find himself in. Very tough track to pass at least cleanly. Right now, it's just a matter of can anyone chase down and get around that Ford Merzlach? Or can he finally break through for a second win in the season after what has effectively been a very struggling season for him? It's not even, give you an idea, he's not even top five in points. He's in fact, if I were to pull up the points again, because I closed it by accident like an idiot. He's currently sitting 12th in points right now. And that's after gaining 6 spots from the previous race. So not even being in the top 10 in points, 2 seasons off of winning a championship. Yeah, not the greatest position you want to be in. So to get a second win on the season here and be able to bounce back and start to have a good run here in the second half of the season, it's definitely something Merzlach needs. Meanwhile, something Crago does not need is Kiro being right behind him, because that's only a gain of just a few points on the 92 for the championship lead. A championship lead, mind you, that Kiro has had since like the third or fourth race of the season. This race continues to go green. We might see lap traffic here, and with as early as they pit, we might see green flag pit stops as well. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Anything can and will usually happen in racing. Doesn't like there's any side-by-side battles, but there's definitely some battles looking to happen. Something I just realized, Plexico has actually not fallen off from Kiro at all. The fact that it's kind of a Team Reynolds double-decker here sandwich for the back half of the top 10 is kind of hilarious and scary simultaneously. It is possible, though, that once Merzlak catches the tail end of the field here, and it's becoming more and more of a possibility of if, not when. Or, when, not if, I mean. Wow. Yeah, you can tell it's been a while. My commentary's a little off the mark here. Anyways, but it's a matter of when, not if, he catches the tail end of the field, especially if this race continues to go green. Meanwhile, this is a nice battle that's been brewing for 6th place, basically, for the entire back half of the top 10. So everybody running just a little bit of a different line from each other. Although whatever line Cody Goforth ran compared to Ryan Vaughn was not a good line. Now here comes Cascio looking to the inside of Ian Wallace. Can't quite get there. Meanwhile, just outside the top 10, Freeman Jr. versus Brett Kanningberg. That's for 11th. For 13th, Victor Smith is currently in the spot, but Theodore Keene has been not necessarily hounding the 90, but steadily just being there, watching, waiting to pounce. So I do gotta commend Victor Smith. Going from being suspended in your first career Cup Series start, not being in the car for almost a little over 3.5 years at this point, being able to come back, it's a completely different generation race car. And to be able to actually hold on as well as he's had thus far at a track type he doesn't really do well at, I gotta commend Victor Smith. And as a bonus, he's also currently beating the ride he was fired from. Just 2 positions back. That was the Wolfpack 84 he was in that season before being replaced by Foley Hill in the 84. Then Foley went to the 82, the 84 seat opened up, and Darren Arnstruff filled that seat. See Hancock taking a peek to the inside of Montoya, just a few positions further back from that. Merzlak keeps on closing into the tail end of the field. We're actually closing in on halfway already. Seems like just everybody's just in a rhythm riding right now. Just trying to see what everybody else is doing. Oh. Go forth looking to the inside of Vaughn. Not able to get there, but he was looking. Halfway next time by for Steven Merzlak. As this 5-car battle for 6th place is slowly becoming a 7-car battle. Oh, and Nomina's gotten around Crown Junior for 37th. Or 36th, I should say. Just in time, too, because here comes Steven Merzlak. As we are now officially past halfway at North Wilkesboro. Crago still under fire from Hunter Kiro for 3rd. Vaughn beginning to pull away from Goforth, actually. So now it becomes a 6-car battle for 7th. And you have the Smith train. Ooh, Takeda up the track. That's going to open the door for Dylan to make a move to the inside. Try to take that position away. Takeda holds on for now. In fact, Takeda is going to hang on to that spot. Maybe. Dylan's still not clear of the O2. Now Dylan is clear of the O2 Takeda. Now can Heflin capitalize and try to get around Takeda? Nomina back to the bumper of the 15. Nomina is now around a 15 of Cox. Meanwhile, Merzlak still hasn't quite caught the last 3 guys here yet. Meanwhile, 6th through 10th, starting to pull away again from 11th and 12th. Smith opening up a small gap on the 33 of Keene, who's in turn opened up a small gap on the 84, who's under fire from the 5 of Henson Jr. And Nomina really has opened up a gap on 15 and 37. Whereas like really just running away with this now at this point. As it looks like there's an issue with the ticker. I'll fix that on the next caution, if there is another caution. And it looks like Ricky Foxon is now up the track. That's going to allow Cole Dillon to try to make another move here, similar to one he made on Takeda a few laps ago. But Foxon's going to hold off the 60 for now, as Vaughn has hit pit road. As has the 81 of Reinhardt. So green flag pit stops are happening here. Let's go forth and Vaughn, or not Vaughn, Wallace now hit pit road. Will Merzlik hit pit road this time? He will. As will Crago. Meanwhile, Hero stays an extra lap out, as does Plaxco. Vaughn has already made his pit stop. Actually comes out on track right about where he was in relation to everybody else. Hero goes on an extra lap. Plaxco stays on track. Ooh, narrowly avoided a collision there between the 82 and the 22. Hero's coming in this time now. And this is big. Reinhardt ahead of Merzlik after the pit stop. But more importantly, where is Kiro? So nobody comes off pit road. There's Kiro. Still behind Crago. As Vaughn just about wrecks the 04 getting into turn 3. But Hunter Kiro now back in, I believe, provisional P4. Make that provisional P5. Vaughn's on a tear. He gets around the 92. Or getting around the 92. They're still battling side by side for the position. Plaxco looks to try and follow the two. Now Vaughn is clear. Now it's a matter of who can get through lap traffic better. Merzlik's caught back up to the 81 as Reinhardt tries to fight through the lap cars. But Merzlik's now stuck behind two of them who are battling side by side. It's like being stuck behind two semis on a two-lane highway doing almost equal speeds to each other. I think the big loser in pit stops there was 29 of Max O'Quinn. He was running just ahead of the top 30, and now he's 37th. Merzlik able to get around the 37, speaking of the number, finally. So he only has one lap car between himself and Reinhardt. But it's been difficult to pass all day. Even if Vaughn made it look easy twice in a row. Ooh, they were three wide there. Further back in the field. Can't quite tell what position that's for. Just see here on the ticker in a moment. That looks to be for 23rd position. And we are getting reports that Merzlik not happy with the pit crew over the radio. Understandable frustrations, but all he can do right now is just get his head down and just drive as far forward as he possibly can. Try and catch the 81 before the 81 is able to drive away with the assistance of lap traffic holding the 4 up. Well, that said, for lap traffic isn't that much further ahead. It's just a matter of can you get around the cars faster than people you're competing against for the win. So Reinhardt now looks to the inside of the 0. Try and put Hayner a lap down. Not able to get there. Of course, one thing to remember is the longer Reinhardt is stuck behind Hayner, that gives Merzlik an opportunity to try and catch up. But if both drivers are stalemated, stuck behind a lap car each, it's effectively a Reinhardt win either way. And of course, it will be, I believe, 7, 8 drivers at this point if Reinhardt is able to hang on for the win that has earned their first career win this season. That would be a record. Of course, this is also not what Reinhardt needs. Reinhardt now had the 24 of Willard to the inside. That is not what Reinhardt needs either. That's something I actually completely forgot to say was if Reinhardt is being passed by lap traffic, that gives Merzlik an opportunity to keep 81 outside. Also, I can't tell if Vaughn and Kiro catching Krager or not, because Krager has caught but not been able to pass any lap traffic. I'll be surprised. I'll admit, I'm surprised Reinhardt actually was able to stay ahead of Willard there. Thought for sure Willard was going to get around Reinhardt and Merzlik was going to be able to retake the lead. Car 81 still out front in terms of position, at least. Not necessarily on track. Because it's now just a complete conveyor belt of cars. Skiro trying to find a way back around Ryan Vaughn for the fourth position. Closing in on 40 laps to go here. And now here was Willard back to the inside of the 81. This is going to give Merzlik the opportunity to try and retake the lead here. Reinhardt fighting back on the outside, but it's not going to be enough this time. Here comes Merzlik now. Trying to push 24 ahead of the 81. And Willard was clear. Now here comes Merzlik for the lead. When Reinhardt washed up the track through, or entering turn 3, that's going to give Merzlik clear on the radio there from the spotter. And now Reinhardt might lose out on another bit of track position at the very least to the 80 of and she will. That's going to put the 37 of Crown Jr. wall, but Crown Jr. does not go all the way around. He's able to get back going straight almost immediately. No caution. That was almost a hairy moment as well. Gonna have to take a quick replay of that real quick, because that happened just so fast and so suddenly. So yeah, Crown Jr. actually is trying to avoid hitting the 81, does clip her, and appropriate considering the sponsor of the car. Just a slight little kiss of the wall there. Keeps it going straight. Only lost a couple of spots there. Because of that, now Reinhardt only has one car in between her and Merzlik. Can she get the charge back up to the lead? Krago does have a little bit of a buffer between himself, Vaughn, and Kiro. Plaxico still running in 5th. Great job by the Axiom Racing Union crew today. Goforth in 6th. Ian Wallace 7th. Kenningberg in 8th. Keschel 9th. Sparks rounding out the top 10. Great job by Team Reynolds to get all 3 of the cars on the top 10 today. Freeman in 11th. Good job by him today. 84 of Arnstruff in 12th. Keene in 13th. Smith falls back to 14th after starting 11th. Not necessarily how you want to have your return to the Cup Series go by losing spots compared to where you started. But it's still a pretty good day otherwise. And then you have Montoya rounding out the top 15. Pretty average day for that team. Although probably disappointing considering they know they're capable of winning, especially after last week. As now Nomina putting pressure on Merzlak to try and get back on the lead lap. Hang on. The fight for the lead might not be over. So we are nearing 30 to go. Nomina trying to damnedest to stay off of the 4. Merzlak not make contact. However, that's allowed Reinhardt to get back to the inside of the 4 for the lead. Merzlak able to fend off the 81, but has to settle for being behind the 80. Can Merzlak fight back? Looks like Vaughn and Kiro have been catching Crago, but like I said earlier, Crago does have the buffer of Crown Jr. in between himself and the back edge of the top 5. There's a whole heap of cars ahead of Merzlak, all fighting to stay on the lead lap here. And as much as Merzlak wants to get around them, as much as he's also hoping that Reinhardt is not going to be able to get ahead of him. Although this isn't going to help matters any, being stuck behind 2 slow cars that are battling side by side. Reinhardt just closed up the gap to Merzlak once again and looked to the inside there. Merzlak's going to pull away a little bit as Reinhardt now is left to fight Hayner. Hayner still hitting tough on that outside lane. Reinhardt clears, coming off of turn number 2. Now that's a big gap between the 4 and the 81. Merzlak now looking to the inside of Nomina right as teammates from All-Star Motorsports battle side by side just ahead of the 80. It's going to slow everybody up. That might bring Reinhardt right back to Merzlak. Now that's Nomina and Lamas side by side. 20 to go. Next time by the way. Now Lam is trying to fight to stay on the lead lap. He's already lost 2 spots in the span of a lap and a half. And now is in danger of going a lap down. Now Merzlik has successfully put a lapped car between himself and Reinhardt, but for how long? Here comes Reinhardt to try and get around the 48. Can't quite do it that time by. Kiro has gone around Vaughn, as has Plaxico. Here comes Goforth now, trying to get around the 2 himself. Something has happened to the 2 car. All that stands between Kiro and Craigo now is a lapped car. Not that it really matters in the long run, considering it's only a couple of points that Kiro would be losing to Craigo. Kiro would still be the points leader exiting this race. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Merzlik is just content with riding behind some of these lapped cars, knowing it would be difficult for Reinhardt to get around them. Vaughn now being put under pressure by his teammate Ian Wallace for, I believe that is the 6th position. Kiro now getting around the 37 of Crown Jr. This could be big. If Kiro can get to Craigo and get around him, that's a gain of points. Merzlik now has 2 cars between him and Reinhardt. 15 to go. $14 to go. Can Reinhardt get the runs here to get around Merzlik? Or not Merzlik. Well, yeah, getting around Merzlik, but more importantly, getting around McRiley and Lamas first, then catch Merzlik and get around him. Will Merzlik hang on? In the meantime, for the championship fight, can Craigo stay ahead of Kiro and trying to gain some more points on the 92? Even if it's only a few, every point matters in the long run. I think Merzlik's starting to pull away a little bit here. Speaking of which, 10 laps to go for Merzlik at North Wilkesboro. Whatever issue Vaughn had, he's fully recovered from it now when he's looking to chase down Goforth once again. Oh, Craigo went too deep into turn 3. That opens the door for Kiro. Five laps to go for Merzlik, but the battle we focus on is for 3rd. Kiro takes a spot. Now here comes Crown Jr. to just make Craigo's day even worse. As Craigo now under pressure from the 04 for the 4th position. Craig could be in danger of falling outside the top 5 here. Merzlik has put a 3rd car between him and Reinhardt. Not that it matters considering there's 3 laps to go. No, 4 laps to go. No, yeah, 3 laps to go. Now it's just 2 to go. White flag for Steven Merzlik one more time to try and get his 2nd win of the season. Craig is still fighting to try and stay in the top 5. Through 3 and 4 for the final time and off turn 4. Merzlik will get win number 2 of the season. Reinhardt will finish 2nd. Kiro rounds off the podium, and Craig will finish 6th as Goforth will take 5th position. Ignore what the ticker says, it's a little bit behind in delay. Plex in 4th, Vaughn 7th, Wallace 8th, Kenningberg 9th, Keschel running out your top 10. Like I said earlier, echoes Evans Russ, the only driver to fall out of the race with an engine issue early on. Well, that was 180 laps of North Wilkesboro. Next time out, it is the return of the legendary EA Sports 500. But this time, instead of Talladega, it's going to be at Armored Digital Super Speedway, and I am excited for that. But until then, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you at the next race. So long, everybody.